Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Megara, or hi if you're new. I'm back filming. It's been a while, just a little bit. I know I missed an upload a few weeks ago, but A, I was in Devon, B, I had just got engaged, and C, the internet connection where I was staying is appalling. I don't want to waste time with my family, so I decided to skip a few uploads basically. There's a whole thing going on, and I did actually manage to get an upload up on Friday, so I hope you like that. It will be linked up somewhere up there probably. So I've got a whole new load of makeup. I got some gift cards for my birthday. I have spent most of them and a little bit extra, so I thought I'd chuck them on my face and see how this goes. So don't forget to like, subscribe, all of that kind of stuff, especially if you do like it, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed, because I upload at least every Friday. I'm trying to upload every Tuesday as well, but it all depends on everything else going on in my life, and at the moment it is a little bit chaotic, but it'll get there eventually. So for primer, I think I've mentioned this on my channel before, I'm going to be using the XX Revolution Cloud Complexion Primer. It just looks like this. It looks like a moisturiser, but it feels like a moisturiser as well. It's meant to be blurry and all that stuff, and as somebody who's got somewhat textured face, like it's not textured, it's just pory, and I've got a load of, I get quite a bit of texture on my cheeks from dairy when I've been eating that, so I'm about to have a massive breakout after eating Krispy Kreme yesterday. So worth it. Yeah, and if you want to know, I've got a mirror over here. There are mirrors in front of me in a moment. For foundation, I've got the Florence by Mills Like a Light Skin Tint. I haven't tried anything by Florence or maybe Bobbi Brown, but I've heard good things about this. It is kind of expensive for what it is. I have this in the shade F010 or F010, and the shelf, for a better word, look raided. So I'm hoping this is an okay match, because this is the lightest shade they had. More worryingly, this is the lightest shade. So I'm going to give this a bit of a shake. Does it have instructions? Apply 1 or 2 plumps and blend in with your fingertips. Of course I don't need my sponge today. I really don't like applying product with my fingertips, because I just have a thing about things being on my hands. But it does appear to come off a bit lighter than it originally looked. I mean, I definitely do prefer applying stuff like this with a sponge, but it's definitely not very, it's definitely like light coverage. Like, it's not a lot to wear makeup to school and stuff where you just want a light tint to your skin. Definitely works. I'm going to apply a little bit more and use my sponge, like a tiny little bit. Yes, I know my sponge needs cleaning, but what can you do? I mean, clean it, but it definitely applies okay with a sponge. Like, I'll definitely go for a sponge over my fingers just because that is my personal preference. But you can barely tell it's on my skin, which is nice. If you want a light coverage thing, definitely a thing. I think it's a bit too pale for me at the moment, but I'm not mad. For concealer, I have the Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer. This was actually recommended to me so many times by Megnificent, who is another YouTuber. She's got a few more followers than me, just a few. But this is her, she loves this concealer. And now that I've got foundation on my hands, I can't get into it. Just stick a little bit of this. Okay, a lot of this. And like my eyes and stuff. Gotta get that coverage in. That has definitely helped with the whole issue I didn't like about that foundation not being very full coverage and barely covering anything. Bit of concealer makes it look really good. This is what my base is looking like to start with, so it is a touch too pale for me right now, but give it a few weeks. It's windy as hell out there, it's cold, there is very little sunshine, and I'll start to match this like perfectly. That's not a problem for me. I'm not the biggest fan of the low coverage situation, but I probably will be in a few weeks because that stuff feels alright on my skin. It doesn't feel particularly drying at the moment, but I'll update you later in the day to show you how this is all looking at the end of the day. It's time for the rest of stuff to go on my face. And for powder, I have the iHeart Revolution Peach Baking Powder. Looks like this. I haven't even opened this, honestly, because I know the coconut one is the palest, but I'm not the biggest fan of coconut scents or coconut in general, so it comes to the puff, that is a hefty puff. Okay, does it have a tab to pull here and release the powder? No, it doesn't. Where are my tweezers? This is how packaging gets frustrating, Revolution. Oh, fuck. Alright, so I just got some of that on my jeans. And it does have a little pulley tab, but you just can't see it. That's frustrating. So I'm going to get a little bit of this into the lid, like this much. Swirl it around a bit. Well, I can't feel it on my skin, which is something. It doesn't feel immediately really drying, which I am appreciating. Definitely smells of peaches. Gonna get a bigger brush. They did also have some different shades. They had coconut, which was pale, another pale one, and they had banana, which was definitely yellow, and choco nana, which I believe is a deeper one for deeper skin tones, but banana powder is just too dark for me. So yeah, that seems pretty nice. I mean, it hasn't done wonders to my skin, but it hasn't also destroyed it. My skin does feel lovely. It may be the moisturiser, it may, I've got moisturiser on underneath all of this. It may be the tinted moisturiser, could be anything. Now for bronze, I have another I Heart Revolution thing. I just could not resist this. This is the I Heart Revolution bronzing powder in Coffee Break one. It looks so cool. I have it in the shade Latte, which I believe is the lightest. It is so hard to kind of eyeball all of this at the moment with COVID. I mean, I understand why. I'm not complaining about COVID. Well, I'm not complaining about the restrictions that we're having to put in place because of COVID. So I'd completely get it. But it is annoying that everything's got to be eyeballed. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I did not expect it to be green. I mean, I think it would have looked a bit better in like brown or something, but I'm definitely not going to lose this green thing. So inside it comes with a little bit of plastic. Going in the bin. Nice big mirror. Speaking of coffee. I put too much caramel syrup in that. But it tastes so good. Get my bronzer brush. Nice tapered one from Spectrum. A lot of my brushes are Spectrum if you're curious. Okay, that looks a bit darker than I expected, but it looks like this. That is actually really nice. I'm tapping off a lot of product. I'm going to take a teeny tiny little bit of this and run it down the side of my nose. What I will say is, if you're like me and this, I think this is the lightest one, be careful. It was definitely the lighter of the two that they had in store. Yeah, Latte is meant to be for light skin tones, and that is the shade range. So, Latte is light to medium, Cappuccino is light. Latte is light, Cappuccino is light to medium, Macchiato is medium, and Mocha is dark. I mean, I'll come up with something lighter for Latte, because I know it looks very pale on the skin, but it is not that pale in person. But it is workable. I mean, I took a very little amount of the product, so when I'm tanned, like next summer maybe, it might work. For blush, this is one of the few high-end things in this entire thing. I have the KVD Everlasting Blush. I have it in Honeysuckle. And KVD people actually really love me when I was there because they're getting so little. They've actually got samples, like you're not allowed to touch them, you're allowed to pump them out and stuff. But, so I could actually get a right foundation. If you would like to see a foundation review on that, it is probably coming soon. I just haven't got around to starting to film it. So this is what the blush looks like. It looks like this. I think that is a really nice blush colour. I didn't want to go anything too hot or too pink. And I think this will look really nice on my skin because I am so goddamn pale. I'm going to get a little bit of that. Maybe not that much. Okay, that was a lot, but that's really nice. It's really subtle, which I am digging so much. It's buildable, which is definitely something important to me because, well, if it's not buildable, I normally make a mess of it. And yeah, I just think it's really nice and really subtle. It's just there, it's like a hint of a blush. I like it. Now, I'm going to go off camera and do my brows because, quite honestly, I haven't got anything to do for brows. So I'll be right back with you. I feel so much more complete with my brows done. So I just used a bit of ABH Brow Gel, Collection Incredibrow, and Benefit Precisely My Brow. My general brow routine, basically. Now I'm going to move on to eyeshadow because I always do my highlighter last. I'm not sure how this habit came about, but it did. And for eyeshadow, I've got the I Heart Revolution Curses and Hexes palette. This is a Halloween palette. I saw it on the Halloween stand and thought I would like a Halloween palette for a change. Because I haven't bought one ever. And, well, it's not exactly expensive, and if I did cock it up a bit, it wouldn't matter too much. Oh, it's got tape on it, that's why. First things first, it looks like a book. Very dark. And it opens up like this to present colours, or like this if you prefer. I looked at this online and thought it is right up my street because it has got a lot of purples and blues and that kind of colours, because it is getting to autumn. It is the end of September, and quite honestly, let's just have a laugh. At work I am known for being colourful and bright, or really random colours on my eyes, so if I wear this to work it's going to be no shock to anybody really. I have no idea where to even start with this, quite honestly. So I think I'm going to go in with Curse, which is this brown just up here. Definitely blendable, like a lot of Revolution shadows. I don't imagine their Halloween collections would be bad. It's just I thought I'd test it out. So that's definitely blended. This is definitely a cool tone, but it can't really not be cool tones in this. I think next I'm going to go in with Nightmare, which is this purple just here. Very greyish purple. Just going to run this through my crease. This would make an excellent bruise colour. It's a slight worry, but also let me know down in the comments what your plans for Halloween are, considering the whole current situation we have at the moment in the world. Because I don't know when this video is going to be posted, but I can imagine we're going to end up in a lockdown soon in the UK. Or at least my city will be. Because 2 university students have just come back, and I don't fancy my chances really. So again, that's blended quite nicely. It's not skipping anywhere. It isn't the most pigmented, but I haven't also gone ham with the pigment. This is an eyeshadow palette. Some of them are pressed pigments. Okay, so Nightmare is a pressed pigment, so it may need a sticky base to really get in there. I'm going to use this flat-ish brush. It's kind of fluffy, kind of flat. And I'm going to go in with Jinx, which is this bright purple up the top, which I believe is shade number 1, which isn't a pressed pigment. I'm just going to pat this on the outer and inner portion of my lids. And I know, Megara doing another purple eyeshadow look. How imaginative of you. If you don't know, I love purples, and purples can be difficult to formulate, so I thought it would be a good way to test it out. Yeah, it's not the most pigmented in the world, but that is a decent purple, so if you want to get a palette to play around with purples, this is pretty good. Because a lot of purples I have found just end up looking pink when you blend them out, whereas this one is not looking, it's still looking purple, which is something of an achievement. And I'm going to use a bit of Misfortunate, which is this pale white or creamy colour, just to neaten up the outside, because I find using a colour like this, particularly if you just want to blend the edges out, is perfect. I'm going to use the end to run Cursed and Nightmare on my lower lash line. And add a little bit of Jinx. Then use the fluffy end again to blend that out and really blend it all together. With that flat brush on my lid, I'm going to add a little bit more Jinx to my lids. I think this colour would definitely work a lot better with a turkey base. Then for shimmer, I'm going to use this shade here called Bewilder. This silvery shade. Silvery bluey shade. I'm just going to put this on the centre of my lid. Kind of a lavendery silver, I think is the best way to describe it. I think that shade just saved it. It's not the most brilliant shimmer in the world, but it is a good shimmer, so I'm going to go in with a bit more of Jinx just to blend this all in and really unify it all. I'm going to stick some eyeliner on. No, I'm not going to stick some eyeliner on. I'm going to go straight in with mascara, because I've got some eyeliner, but it's one I've used already and I could always go in and kind of patch up afterwards. So I've got the Huda Beauty Legit Lashes, and it's double-ended, and I've seen this online and I was going to buy it, and I saw it in store and thought I've got to buy it because I've had a gift card. So inside, I honestly have not opened this. I do not like the plastic packaging. I'll say that right now. So on one end you've got curl and length, and you've got volume on the other. And this is what I need in the mascara because I've got very fine hair, as you may be able to, you can't really tell today because I've got a dark jumper on, but I have very fine hair and I need volume, and I do love curl and length because it really does help. So, okay, so it's this way around. That is a pretty funky looking mascara wand. I'm going to get a little mirror. I'm going to use the Revolution mirror thing. Even the wand is shaped to really cater to your eye. Off the bat, I wouldn't say it's giving me too much volume, but I am also being very cautious with this. I will say that the curl and length one is definitely better at separating out my lashes, whereas this one, the volume one, does clump them together a little bit, but that might be down to formulation. I'm trying to give you thick lashes. This is what my lashes are looking like at the moment, and I really should have left one plain, but it's definitely looking good. I mean, I'm going to let them dry and add some more to see how well this builds up. But, highlighter. So for highlighter, I have got the Sleek highlighting palette in Solstice. I've tried sleek highlighters before, and the one I got was just too dark for me, honestly. But this one looks pretty good. I mean, I'm not a fan of the cream, but oh well. So I'm going to clean off my highlighting brush. I'm going to go in with a mixture of this white one and a bit of, well, let's just get a bit of all of them. And, oh, I remember why I love sleek highlighters. I mean, it's not often you get this kind of glow from a drugstore product. That's such a nice highlighter. I like that. I like that a lot. I'm going to try and add some more to my lashes in a minute. I'd definitely say it's buildable, and that highlighter is just, it's beautiful. So I'm going to have some coffee and be right back. So last but not least is lipstick. And I have the Charlotte Tilbury lipstick in Pillowtalk. Thank you, Nia, so much. And inside it looks like this. It is a fairly pink colour, but I think it will go with this look, and it's the only new lipstick I've got, honestly. Because I'm trying to cut down the amount of lipsticks I own, so it is a lovely lipstick. It feels much more hydrating than the normal MAC ones I wear. I have been trying this out over the past few days just to see how it wears and stuff. It does come off in my mask. This was my mask from yesterday, and there is a little bit of pink inside. It is very comfortable. It does last pretty well. It doesn't stick to all my coffee mugs once it's dried down a bit, but I do like it. Nia, you did good. Nia bought it for me for my birthday, and I thank you so much for it, Nia. So, what do I think of everything so far? I'll update you later on everything about how it's worn and all that, but highlighter, I like it a lot. Foundation, tinted moisturiser, it's alright. It's not my favourite, but I am used to much more full coverage things. I think this will do pretty well, especially when it gets hot again in the summer, or when my skin is dry as all hell and I just want to have something easy on my face. Concealer is pretty good, especially when you just want kind of natural makeup, you want to hide everything wrong with your face, or things you don't like with your face. It's not necessarily wrong, it's just some bits of my face I like less than others. Bronzer. I like it, but it is very, very dark. This is my Too Faced Chocolate Bronzer, and it's just a bit of a difference. Like, this is designed for light skin. I'm not sure if I've just got the wrong end of the stick, and this is designed for deep skin tones, which are lighter than real deep skin tones. Not sure. Blush, I like it. It's very subtle. It's very everyday. Definitely going in with the basket of stuff I use every day. Ooh, and it is embossed. I really like the flower pattern on it. I'm hoping you can kind of pick that up on the camera. Powder hasn't done anything bad yet, but I will be testing this for the next few weeks, probably at least. See how it does, because this is 22 grams, 0.77 ounces. It is a decent amount of stuff. So I'll definitely see how this lasts, because it is really cheap as well. Mascara, pretty good. The eyeshadow, I'm torn on because it looks alright. It's not the best purple in the world, but it is still a good drugstore purple. There are better purples, but there are also a lot of colours in here that I haven't tested out, which I will probably get around to testing in the next few weeks. A lot of them are shimmers. Yeah, 9 shimmers, 10, 11 shimmers and 7 mattes, so it's not the most versatile, but it could look good. Like this shade here, Distinguish. Disgust even. The silvery, goldy colour. Looks bomb, I'm not gonna lie. But I'll see how this all lasts because this is kind of what I'd wear to work. This may become a very good handy palette. Yeah, I think that's everything. So I'm going to set this with my Rude Cosmetics Makeup Radiant Lasting Mist Long Lasting Dewy Finish Setting Spray. I haven't used this in a while. Don't know why I'm giving it a shake because probably doesn't need a shake. It is a very harsh spritzer, I'll give you that. So I'll update you in a few hours with how this is all lasting and what I think. It's like 10, 11 hours later. It is like 11 o'clock. I've had this on about 10 hours at least. And honestly, I'm actually quite liking most of it. I mean, come on camera. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. I mean, my eye is getting tired, which is why it's made it look a little bit red. It hasn't sunk into my forehead too badly. Looking alright. It's been a busy day, I'm not going to fill you with what happened, but it's been a bit busy. It's come off my nose a bit, but with face mask that kind of does happen. And I think it looks alright. The bronzer and stuff stayed on. The highlighter still looks awesome, which I am loving. Quite honestly, I'm glad I picked that one up. But there's something about this eyeshadow which I am not quite loving. I think it is just because it's just not the right kind of purple for me. I don't know. I'm not quite into that purple stage yet. I'm not sure, it's just something about this purple I'm just not enjoying. It might be the formulation, it might be something else, I don't know. I'm going to leave this video here because I could rattle on all night honestly, and I need to get some sleep because I've got work in the morning. So, if you like the video, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one, which will hopefully be on Friday. It might be on Tuesday. I'm working on getting back to 2 uploads a week, but I can't promise anything at the moment just because it's all a bit up in the air. I'll update you soon. So, bye! Couldn't find the bloody off button, could I?